WHGW. We're going to talk about a couple of things this hour. Later on in the hour, we're going to learn about a Choral Society show coming up. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to talk about the Saginaw County Sports Hall of Fame. And with us to do that is board member Jim Couture. Jim, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming in. Sports Hall of Fame, I mean, do you know any history of it, how long it's been around?
Yeah, it started in 2001. A gentleman by the name of Don Bethune had this thought of getting a hall together to honor the athletes and teams and contributors from the Saginaw County area. So he put together a group of individuals of like minds who knew a lot about the history of the athletics in the Saginaw County area and also had a passion for recognizing those folks.
And what's amazing about it is how many talented athletes this area has turned out.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no lack of candidates ever.
And we don't ever run out either.
So this year, usually there is an awards banquet.
Correct.
An induction, if you will.
Yep.
And when is that this year?
That's going to be Sunday, November 2nd at Horizons.
And tickets are still available?
Tickets are still available. You can get them at SaginawCountySports.org. That is our website. So you can get your tickets there. They're $60. If you come at the door, they're $65. So it behooves you to go to the website and get your ticket early.
It's always good food and good conversation and a great event. So who's in this year?
So we got two male athletes this year. Mike McFadden from Heritage.
He did what?
He played football, and then he went on to Grand Valley, where he had an awesome career there. He was the two-time National Defensive Player of the Year. He played on 3 national championships at Grand Valley. He was the Art Upshaw Defensive Lineman of the Year. So he had a lot of accolades at Grand Valley, as well as the multiple sports he played at Heritage.
And then the other
is Anthony Roberson from Saginaw High. Anthony did play football for Don Durrett and was on the 97, I think, state championship team as an underclassman, but he really excelled in basketball. Anthony was a Parade magazine All-American, recruited hotly throughout the country. He decided to play at Florida for Billy Donovan, who is now the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. And after 3 years at Florida, he left early and went into the NBA. He had a 5-year career there with a few teams, Memphis, the Chicago Bulls, and the Los Angeles Clippers.
There's one name on that list I want to talk about a little bit. He's a friend, and I know him well, and that's Dick Garber.
Yeah.
So I want you to skip down to Dick.
All right.
And tell us why he's going into the Hall of Fame.
So one of the categories...
Probably not as an athlete.
No. Well, he's a good golfer.
Well, he is a good golfer. Oh, he's a great golfer.
Actually, I think he was on the MacArthur team that won the state title back when he was in high school.
He's a phenomenal golfer.
Yeah. So we do have a category of contributor. And so Dick certainly fills that role real well. Obviously, everybody knows he brought the Saginaw Spirit into Saginaw and built that whole franchise up to a very successful, probably one of the most successful franchises in the OHL.
Yeah.
And so over the years, he's been able to bring in talent who's actually gone on to the NHL. Recently, obviously, everybody knows about the Memorial Cup that we were able to bring in, and Saginaw actually winning it. So he's done a lot. He's also a big contributor to Garber Courts, right? The tennis court renovation that happened down there on Russ Street. And so
I want to do this because he doesn't like to take credit.
No, he doesn't.
So
he doesn't.
We force him to listen.
Yeah, we were.
Sorry, Dick.
We were fortunate that he came to our press conference for the announcement of the class.
Excellent.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah. So you're right. He's a very humble guy and likes to deflect everything, but he deserves everything that's coming his way.
Boy, does he ever.
Yeah.
Community's blessed to have him.
Absolutely.
He's not the only one. There's a lot of people in the community like that. There's a lot of philanthropy going on around here. But Dick is just the shining example at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, we typically have a contributor category most years, so we do try and get those individuals who, who have contributed, whether it's recreational sports or any other way that they can.
Okay, so let's go back to the list in the order you have it.
All right, yeah, that's okay. So as far as female athletes, we got Lakeisha Freeman. She's a basketball player out of Arthur Hill. Was a McDonald's and a parade All-American in high school. Had a great career at Arthur Hill, then went on to Purdue and played 4 years at Purdue, helped lead Purdue to 2 Big Ten championships. She was All Big Ten 2 years. She was All Academic Big Ten 2 years. So had a great career there.
Let me ask, what are the requirements to be nominated for the Hall of Fame? Do you have to be retired a certain amount of years, or is there any kind
well,
of requirement?
First of all, yeah, you need to have a very successful, obviously, high school career,
yeah.
right? And the next level, whether it could be NAIA, Division III, 2. Mm-hmm. So have a successful career there. If you end up going to the pros, then that's a bigger plus. But as far as anything else to get nominated, if you are playing professionally, we do require 5 years of being out of that.
Right.
We've made a couple exceptions here and there. So, for instance, like Draymond Green's still playing.
Right.
Draymond Green's going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Sure he is. Yeah.
But we're not going to do it while he's still playing.
Right.
Because he's still racking up statistics and things like that.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the list.
Okay. Then Katrina Grantham from Heritage. Katrina was on the Heritage basketball team that won their first state title with Tim Conley as the coach, who's also on our board. But Katrina had she was all state, all conference, all area, dream team member. She went on to play at Michigan State and had a great 4-year career there, helped lead Michigan State to the Elite Eight and the Final Four. And so we're recognizing her. Mm-hmm. Then, as far as coaches go, I'm sure you're aware, Don Durrett, from longtime coach at Saginaw High.
Yep.
Winningest coach in Saginaw High history, won the state title, has probably sent more people to the NFL than you could ever imagine, and also other major colleges. So we're finally bringing him in. Our team this year is the 1992 Carleton Girls Basketball State Championship. They were at 27-1. It is the last, actually, state championship Carleton has garnered. So that whole team was phenomenal. They pretty much breezed through the tournament along those lines. And then our veteran category is Greg Meter. Greg's known locally, been around for a while. He actually transferred into Saginaw area his junior year. He went to St. Stephen's. Outstanding football and basketball player, all-state both years, junior as a senior, in football and in basketball. And then he went on to play at Dayton University, was a captain his senior year, was a defensive back, outstanding player there, earned his law degree there, and came back to Saginaw. And then he started coaching. So he started coaching 2 years at St. Stephen's when they still had the high school going. And then when they merged with New Val Catholic Central, he moved over there and has coached there for 31 years, helped them multiple district, regional, state championships. Just an outstanding individual.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, a few more names on the list. And also I'm going to ask how they get nominated, how they get inducted into the Hall of Fame, all of that coming up.
Okay, all right, so we're going to have this thing all
All right, we're back with you, talking to Jim Couture from the Saginaw County Sports Hall of Fame. So the mystery is, how do you get nominated and how do you get selected?
Okay, so anyone can nominate an individual for consideration to be on the ballot. You can just go to the website, SaginawCountySports.org. There's a nomination form there. The important thing here is, though, that you provide us with the information needed, their achievements, what did they do, the sports they played, were they all area, all conference, all state. At college, what did they do? We need that kind of information to put together that criteria so that we have a selection committee on the board that gets together every year, goes through the categories. It's a arduous process. and we break it down, and we really try and make sure that we are covering Saginaw County as a whole. So we want to make sure that St. Charles and Merrill and Birch Run, are there people there that are have the information that is would garner them to get on the ballot. Okay, once we form a ballot, the board approves it, but then it goes out to our lifetime voting members. So our lifetime voting members are the ones that actually vote to get the individuals in the Hall of Fame. So to be a lifetime voting member, it's $50. You get a ballot every single year. Again, you can fill out your form on SaginawCountySports.org. And then we gather the ballots, come back to us. We tabulate them, and that becomes the class of that year. This year, starting for next year, we're going to start moving to online balloting, so that it's a little more convenient for folks instead of mailing out ballots and having to mail it back and everything else. So we're going to be doing that as well starting next year. But that, in a nutshell, getting the nomination, getting the information. We have a selection committee put it together, and then we send it out to the voting members to decide who's going to get in for the class of that year.
So when do nominations close?
Nominations we put the ballot together in February about every year.
Oh, so we're pushing it.
Yeah. So because we want to get the ballot out by March to get it back. We give 30 days to get the ballot back, but with the online voting, it should be turn around a little quicker. And we typically have our press conference announcing the class in June at the Castle.
And the banquet's usually about this time of year.
Always the first Sunday in November.
Yeah.
Yep. Always the Sunday in November.
So how how big is the class? Is it limited to size?
Well, we've had as little as 7 and as many as 10. Typically, it's about 8. 2 female, 2 male, a coach, a contributor,
a team,
and a veteran.
Team gives you a lot of people, but it's still one.
Correct, one team. Sometimes we do, like if a team went back to back on a state championship, we've done that before with a number of teams. So you get even more people involved. So it's just not that first group that won the state title. Actually, a couple of years ago, we honored the St. Charles football team that was undefeated 5 years in a row and won the state championship back then. This was in the early to mid 60s. So, and it was amazing. There were a lot of those guys still around. The whole community got together for them.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
It is fun. I went to the one where the Spirit were inducted, and seeing those old guys again.
Yeah,
because I know Rosie. I mean, Dennis and Rosie, I are friends, but it was interesting to see that click come back again.
Yeah, the Gears. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a fun time. They really enjoyed themselves.
And do you have to be a resident of the county? Here's why I'm asking. We have the Saginaw Spirit. Players come from all over. A couple came out of Saginaw, but mostly they come from Canada, every place else. But they played in Saginaw for the Saginaw team. Are they eligible, or do you have to be a resident of Saginaw?
You don't have to necessarily be a resident, but you do have to participate within the county, right?
Well, but they do. The games are
correct.
Correct. Games here.
Correct.
I'm thinking down the line of the future. I'm thinking of guys like Michael Misa, who went number 2 in the draft.
Yep.
People like that. I wondered if they were eligible or not.
Yeah. If they've participated, like I said, anything in the county that their career was in the county, it may have gone on to a higher career, but their foundation was here. Then certainly.
Just out of curiosity, because of the size of it, now it's growing. Done anything with soccer?
We have had soccer athletes inducted in the past years, and we've actually had contributors from the soccer community.
See, that's what the people that have organized the big soccer complex, and have brought national stuff here. They're amazing.
They've been on the ballot, and
it just goes to show again how much there is here that some people don't even know exists.
Absolutely. And I encourage everybody to go down to the Castle Museum and go through the hall. We have great displays. Jeff Cottrell, who's our current president, is also the curator. So, and every year's class we keep up for a whole year, but there's other sections that gets changed on a periodic basis. There's just tons of history. We have videos of games and things like that from the past that are on display. And so it's a really neat place.
And it's right on the main floor of the museum. Is
Correct.
there any charge? Do you have to pay the museum entry fee to see it? Or?
No, there's a donation box there, obviously.
Okay.
That'd be
That's
great to
good.
do. Yep.
Yeah. And let's remind everybody about tickets again for the upcoming.
Yep. To get tickets, just go to SaginawCountySports.org. They're $60. There's also a place in there if you're coming to honor an individual. You can do that. We do seating, so that's why we ask if you're going to be there for a certain individual, so we can get you all together. But we do have a seating chart for it all. And we will sell tickets at the door. They're $65 at the door, but $60 through the website at SaginawCountySports.org.
Very good, Jim. Thanks for being with us, Tim.
Appreciate it,
Good
Art.
luck with the dinner.
Thanks a lot. Hope to see everybody there.
We'll do it again. We'll take a break, come back, moving on.
Did you know you can bring the
The Glitter Ball. It's Casey and the Sunshine Band. Saturday, February 21st, it's a disco throwdown at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets for Casey and the Sunshine Band start at $52 and are on sale now at the box office or
We're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. I had my calendars mixed up, so no guest will have open phones for the remainder of the hour. 989-752-6111, whatever you'd like to chat about. I pulled a couple of things down. One of them I found humorous. This was in USA Today. A stern letter from crustaceans condemning Taylor Swift's support of sea otters. You heard that right. What it's all about, Taylor Swift wore this shirt, a T-shirt that was otter-themed from California's Monterey Bay Aquarium. And because of that endorsement of wearing the shirt, the aquarium released the shirt again from the 1990s and raised more than $2.3 million to support its sea otter conservation program. Some of this has to come with tongue-in-cheek because there was a statement put out by the, quote, Tortured Crustaceans Department of the American Federation of Marine Invertebrates. You got that? Because all of them are the sea otter's primary source of food. The letter goes on to say the undersigned crabs and assorted mollusks, sea urchins, and clams write today to condemn Taylor Swift for her support of the barbaric tube-shaped carnivorous meat sacks that routinely devour our loved ones. Oh, it was done in tongue-in-cheek, but it was funny. It was great. Sea otters. Do you know there are places in the world where otters are considered really fine pets? Japan has it. There's a couple of otters on YouTube that are regularly featured. And to watch them play around and eat and do stuff, and they're really personable. Quite funny to watch. So I just thought I'd lighten things up a little bit. More on the serious line. Have you been following, I don't see how you cannot be following the FBI claims about the sports betting fiasco in the NBA involving La Costa Nostra, which everybody thought was gone. You never hear about it anymore. But apparently the mob still exists, had to do with poker and, showing up injured and not injured and all kinds of stuff. And it's caught up some big names, including one we're very familiar with, Chauncey Billups, because he was on the Pistons and now is the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. And by the way, he has been put on leave, is the way they described it. He and several others that have been caught up in this thing. And according to the federal indictment, the alleged conspiracy caused losses to the victims of at least $7,150,000. The amount that Billups and other alleged participants earned from the scheme was not listed in the document, but it showed in one case an alleged rigged poker game around 2019 in Las Vegas. The indictment alleges that a rigged shuffling machine was used to defraud victims of at least $50,000. Billups was listed among the alleged participants in that game. And this has become a huge story. It's led national newscasts. Everybody's talking about it. You go to the sports talk channels, and the first thing they talk about is the big sports betting hubbub. Anybody surprised? I'm not. I got to tell you, I am not surprised. The reason I'm not surprised is a big push in this country for sports betting online and sports betting in general. And you had to know that when there's that much money to be made, somebody's going to figure out how to cheat to get it. Now, in this case, it happens to be some pretty well-known people. But I suspect there's all kinds of finagling and cheating going on in it. It amuses me how over the years the major sport teams, the national teams in the big leagues, NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL, all had stringent anti-betting policies and what have you. And now today they're all in bed with the sports booking companies, the FanDuels of the world, the MGMs, you name it, on and on and on. We're beat over the head. You can't watch a game or a pregame without seeing the betting odds. You can bet on everything and anything. So is anybody surprised that all of a sudden there's a cheating scandal? Why would that be a surprise? Maybe the individuals involved, only because we know some of them, know the names. Obviously when Chauncey Billups is involved, we're all going to sit up and take notice because he was a powerful man in the Detroit Pistons organization at one time, powerful player. But I'm certainly not surprised. We in this country tend to do things at the extreme. We don't just have sports books that, you can, you fool around with a little bit, play a little bit. No. Sports betting comes along. Everybody and his uncle opens up an online sports book. And we jump right in. All our money. They take billions, It's scary. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I am not anti-gambling. I've participated, not in sportsbook. I don't do sportsbook. I know nothing about it. I don't want to do it. But I've gone to a casino occasionally. I don't go out of my way to do it. If I find myself there, okay, I'm there. I'm not one of those, I'm not an avid gambler who has to go to the casino every week, But I don't hold it against anybody who wants to gamble. Be my guest. It's your money. Just make sure you can afford to lose it, that's all. But to see the amount of money going into sports book is scary. And you wonder how long before some of them get weeded out. They can't all be making big money. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm misreading it. But there's so many of them today. And I'm serious. You watch any sports talk show and they start with gambling odds. Well, you know, his odds of hitting 3 hits in the game, you know, and they're all up there on the board on the side. You can't get away from it. Can't get away from it. And even the commentators now, they talk about it. And just, it's amazing that these major leagues in sports were so anti-gambling and anti, and now they're all in bed with sports books. Just amazing. All right, take a break, and we will be back.
Gotta go.
I have no idea.
Erased. Yeah,
It's possible. I have no idea. I just didn't.
I
I wasn't in favor of
understand-
it, so.
No, I don't understand why Trump did that. I don't agree with Trump a lot of the times, but this I just don't understand.
From what I gathered, I only looked at it superficially. You know, it's something stuck in my mind about the way he was treated in jail or something, and I don't know. There's usually more to it than meets the eye, but I was not in favor of it, so that's all I can say about it.
Okay. You're a big fan of the Constitution, so you know that the Constitution says that Congress is supposed to set tariffs. That's one of the powers that they have.
Yeah, and do you also know that there are a series of laws that give the president exceptions to that?
Yeah,
There are
in an
a
emergency.
whole bunch of them. There's more than one.
In an emergency.
There's the language of them varies, and the interpretation can vary.
Okay, but
In other words, there
what
are
about the spirit?
exceptions.
What about you? Like I said, you believe in the Constitution. Congress is supposed to do this.
No,
Trump
I
isn't
also
supposed
believe
to
in the
do it
laws that
because he
allow the
sees
president.
he sees a video.
I also
he sees a
believe
video
in the laws
online
that allow
and
the
he gets
president to do
upset.
it. I also believe in the laws that allow the president to do it.
So you think he should be doing it because he saw a video and got upset?
Well, that's your
and because-
interpretation of it.
Well, so but his tariffs are on today, and then they're off next week, and then they're back on again. And you think that's the way the founding fathers had in mind?
Don't know.
Probably not.
Well, probably not. But then again, you know, why did they allow for tariffs in the first place then? If they weren't to be balancing trade and used as trade negotiation tools, why have them?
There is a place for tariffs, but not on the whim of somebody whose ego is bruised.
Well, you can look
So
at it that
now
way. I
Canada-
understand. I understand you don't like them. That's fine. But I'm just telling you, I believe in the Constitution, but I also believe in the laws that allow exceptions to the Constitution.
Well,
Because
if he
those
was
laws were
doing
passed
it
by
for-
those laws were passed by Congress. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Congress
Yeah,
gave him
like
the
I said, they're
exceptions.
for an emergency. They're not like during wartime.
So what
or
declares an
during-
emergency? If a country's taking big time advantage of you, and you're paying all the high tariffs one way, but they're not doing anything
Well,
coming
then
back
go
to you.
You go to Congress and you.
Well,
and
you
you
don't.
ask
Well,
them
I don't
to
know.
change
Some
the
people would look
tariff.
at that as an emergency.
Well,
So, all right, that's why it's up for interpretation. I got to run. I want to
Okay.
get one more in here before I have to go. All righty, Carl. Take care. Bye-bye. Here's Cody in Saginaw. Cody, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Yeah, I know you were talking about the sports betting,
Yeah.
and I couldn't help but I don't sports bet, but I couldn't help but think of, you remember back in the 50s when people would get arrested for running the numbers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, how far we have come.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, it's betting was
the state lottery. The state runs the lottery now.
yeah. Well, yeah, everybody's involved